Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Intershare, and we're going to have a look at an auction by Vichy Auctions, one of the big auction houses in France. They usually have a few auctions going on. So this particular auction is finishing on the 3rd of October. It's the 29th of September today, so a few days left to go. This is a mixture of different stuff, different instruments, some bowed stuff, some plucked, but kind of lower level stuff, so nothing too crazy. So we're just going to have a look at this auction and see if there's anything interesting. There's a lot of instruments here, 398 lots, so we're not going to go over everything. It's just going to take too long, but if we see anything curious, we're going to have a look at it, and if not, we'll just move on. So buyer's premium for this auction is 24%, so that's what you pay on top of the final hammer price. This is a French auction, so bear that in mind if you're looking to bid from overseas, import export fees, CITES restrictions, all of that fun. And just to say, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing or like or comment, because all of that stuff really does help the channel and would be much appreciated. So anyway, that's enough for me. Let's just crack on and see what we've got. So whole load of mandolins here, Neapolitan, another Neapolitan mandolin here. Nothing crazy so far, but might be worth having a look. This one marked Bukhari. It's actually quite nice. It's got a vaulted, it looks like it's got a slight vaulted back to this one, and quite nice. Yeah, it's not a bad mandolin. Nice vaulted back, some quite nice kind of edge work there and other inlays. So that's not too bad a mandolin actually. This one here a bit more plain. There's a lot of two mandolins here. It's a very simple kind of one there. Don't know, yeah, it's another, I think that's a flat back kind of one, multi-ribbed flat back. So yeah, we're just gonna see if there's anything curious. Got mandolas here, banjo. So far nothing too crazy. Another kind of half decent Neapolitan mandolin there. Phoebe mandolin, that's a French one. Let's have a look at this Neapolitan mandolin made in Catania around 1890. Have a look at this one. Another one with a nice vaulted back, quite nice kind of plates for the tuners. Looks like a nice decoration on the edge work. This kind of butterfly design I'm not a fan of. This isn't actually too bad an instrument. 50 to 60 euros is the estimate there. Definitely needs a fair bit of work, but that could actually be okay. It's better than what we normally see in terms of mandolins in these auctions. Another few mandolins here, we'll just go past it. We've got a Milanese type mandolin here. Let's say Lombard here. Big crack on the back there, which is unfortunate. Wow, okay, that's had some wars, so it needs a bit of restoration. 50 euros there. It's the estimate. Interesting flat mandolin there. It's a mandolin with a double top, as you sometimes see. Yeah, the Gelas model. Needs a fair bit of restoration there. More kind of mandolins here. Another double top one. All fairly standard banjo mandolins here. Nothing too crazy to see. Let's see some more banjos here. Miniature stuff, some books, we can go past that. Bowed zither, these can be quite funny. 50 to 80 euros. Pretty cool scroll on that. Curious stuff. This is I think the next lot is interesting. Yeah, a little pochette there, 19th century amateur work, 80 to 100. Quite like that. That's quite cute. People like these, they collect them, so that'll probably do well. 80 to 100 euros. An oud here, Fefer Aldemir Ahmet, fairly plain looking instrument, 1988, but I think it is probably a decent one to a degree, not a tourist one. What on earth is this? Imaginary musical instrument, Germany, 1927. Oh, that's pretty bonkers. Some kind of artwork kind of thing. That's pretty curious. Yeah, that is a pretty bonkers kind of thing there. Some kind of loop, a bit roughly made, but interesting. Let's see what else we've got here. A loud there as well. It's kind of one of the Val zither type things. Got bandurias there, baritone ukulele, nice kind of older ukulele from 1900, 50 to 80 euros. People definitely collect these. These are very popular, so that will probably do well, or they were popular. Maybe not so much anymore, who knows when times change. A couple of guitars here, nothing crazy going on here. Hybrid guitar of different styles by Lionel Biet, made in 2003. Looks nice enough, 100 to 150 euros, that's pretty good. Let's see what else we got here. Interesting decoration there. One of these kind of Hawaiian guitars, quite curious. Another one there. Seems to be a lot of these Hawaiian guitars in the French auctions for whatever reason. Some kind of arch toppy type stuff here. Romantic guitars, lower kind of level stuff. Romantic guitar, this one looks a little bit better, estimate 20 euros. Some weird stringing there down at the bottom rather than the original bridge. I think that's actually not so good. Some electric guitars, some more acoustics. Another Hawaiian guitar, it's really weird, by René Jerome. Now these must have been popular in France at some point then, that style, because you don't get too many of those in the UK from what I recall. Some more kind of classical guitars, balalaika there, Tibetan oboe, that's interesting. Slit drum from the Topeng Dance Theatre, Bali, Indonesia, that's interesting, isn't it? That's curious. And I think we've got a lot of interesting instruments coming up. Cowbells, flutes, some of these African thumb piano type things, slotted drum, ocarinas there, bell, horn, oboes, the African harp there. See another kind of African harp, a lute from Central Asia. That's quite nice. See what else we got here. A charango there. Didgeridoos, another balalaika. Modern Grembury. Grembury, probably absolutely ruined that. Interesting looking. Set of 4 horns, Hungarian kind of zither type instrument there. Let's see what else we got. Another kind of zither type thing there. One of these German harp zithers, harmonicas, Chinese horn there, little saz, musical saw. It's a lyre, bell lyre, some mouthpieces and things there. So a real mixture, marching drum there. A couple of accordions we got. Yeah, load more. Got some instruments, cabarets. It's an interesting collection. Small Scottish bagpipe for decoration. Cabaret oboes there. Piccolo flute. Some other instruments here, some more piccolo flutes. Flageolet there, that's quite interesting. Let's have a look at that. Some fifes as well. Kuzno. See, silver plated flute, another silver plated, silver flute head there by Selma. More flutes here, another flute there, clarinet there, boxwood clarinet. Quite like these boxwood clarinets actually, they look quite nice. Another clarinets here. Clarinets and mouthpieces. Tenor saxophone here. Tenor saxophone, baritone saxophone. Soprano saxophone mouthpieces. Cornets there. Cornets, trumpets, bugle, cavalry trumpet there. A few more trumpets. Bugle there, hunting horn.
double bass tuba, more horns here. So a good range of stuff. A few more kind of cavalry type horns, fanfare horns here. Got some trombones. Oh, we've got some bowed instruments coming up here. JTL, we're on to a lot of French instruments here. 3/4 JTL Mirecourt. We're not going to go into them too crazy. Let's have a look at this 20th century Mirecourt violin bearing a label Carlo Varotti di Dario. Estimate €150. Very difficult to kind of work out kind of what's going on with a lot of these things. If we see anything super interesting, we'll stop, otherwise we'll just carry on. There's a lot of Mirecourt stuff that these Vichy kind of auctions are full of, unsurprisingly. Interesting 3/4 violin by Palliot in Paris. Yeah, potentially a better quality 3/4 violin there, needs a bit of work. More Mirecourt stuff, 19th century. That's actually quite nice, I don't mind some of those, it's very typical. Another 19th century kind of JTL type thing, a bit lesser quality. More 20th century stuff, JTL. A lot of this JTL stuff here. Violin by Grand Gerard, Mirecourt around 1775. Interesting. I think that's need a lot of work there. That is a bit of a labour for someone. Kind of interesting though. 363, it's very big, and the F-hole placement is a little bit strange, but it does have some charm. 19th century Mirecourt violin with the Klotz label, 356. Kind of odd shape to this one. Also needs a good bit of restoration. It is amazing how many of these kind of violins are floating around in France. It's pretty bonkers. 20th century stuff here. Let's see what else we got here. Mirecourt violins. Interesting modern violin there. Let's carry on. We'll probably have a load of bows at some point as well, I would think. See more 3/4 Mirecourt. We're just gonna pull out anything which looks vaguely interesting from the norm, because there's just a sea of the same Mirecourt stuff here, unfortunately. Violin by Didier Nicolas Aine. Looks pretty typical. 365, so it's pretty long. 300, quite nice back on that. I like the shape of these violins actually. It's quite like big round upper and lower bouts, and the F-hole quite kind of vertical, but there are a lot of them about, and that looks like it needs a fair bit of restoration. Let's see what else we got here. German violin. Let's see what else. Mirecourt violin. Strad. Yeah. Let's see. Late 19th century amateur work. Okay, let's have a look at that. Definitely looks like amateur work. That's kind of interesting little scroll there. It's quite curious. Let's see what else we have here. More kind of Mirecourt things. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we see a lot of it, so it's not super exciting to stop on. Let's see if there's anything else worth looking at. Violin by Salazar there. 1820, 1830, estimate 400, so we're going a little bit higher now. Once again, looks pretty typical of that time. Let's see what else, more Mirecourt stuff. 20th century Eastern country violin, okay. Looks like it's pretty low level kind of stuff. €200 on that. Let's see. More kind of Mirecourt type stuff. Be good to see something a little bit more exciting. Let's have a look at this 20th century German violin. Interesting kind of trade type. This Gasparo de Salo model, we see a few of these around. They're kind of quirky. I quite like the scrolls on them, but I think they're just fairly ordinary. See what else we got here. More kind of the same, unfortunately. More this 20th century miracle stuff. I'm sure we must be getting onto some bows or something soon. Let's have a look at this 7/8 French 18th century composite violin. Okay, 300 to 400 euros. Worm bites on the side. Kind of slightly curious. That is a lot of work you can see going on here, but it's fairly curious instrument. Let's see what else we've got. This is going to be the least exciting of the Vichy auctions, so we shouldn't expect too much from it. Let's see, more German violins, 19th century French. 2 violins, 19th century. This looks like fairly low tier stuff there, nothing too crazy. More 19th century miracle, interesting little painting there. More French stuff, all fairly similar. More miracle stuff. Let's see, we're on to the final page. Can we get anything curious in the last page? It's another 19th century miracle violin with a Nicolas Duchesne label. Once again, nice back. I think some funny things have happened to that one. Once again, a lot of work. 100 euros on that. A long length of back as well. Right, probably 18th century French violin, bearing Caron label. Okay, that's kind of interesting. 356, 400 euros they're looking for, and that needs a lot of work. 19th century stuff here, German violin, 20th century, and some miracle stuff to finish, and then that's basically it. So this is the Vichy auction finishing on the 3rd of October. Load of plucked strings, load of woodwind, loads of other wind instruments, loads of bowed strings, loads of other random instruments from around the world. Fairly interesting auction, but this is all lower tier stuff, nothing crazy. The other auctions will probably be a bit better. So check out the link anyway in the description if you're interested in anything. Any comments or anything, feel free to reply or send an email, etc, etc. So thanks a lot for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.